especially now when our lives at times can feel so out of control, maybe more than they ever have before. One thing we always have control over is our time. That might sound controversial, and you don't have to believe me, but just consider that when it comes to our time, which really is our life, have you ever thought about that? That the way we spend our time is our life. At the end of our lives, what we had was how we spent our time. And we don't, at least in my experience with myself, with friends and family, and with clients, we don't recognize enough how powerful choosing how we spend our time is and how much control, even when there's so much out of our control, choosing powerfully how we spend our time gives us our lives back. So, how do you do that when there's obligations, when there's a global pandemic, when there's what we know we should be doing or think we should be doing? I have a hack for you, a time hack on this Monday to help you take control over your life again. Here's all it is. It's really simple, and it's what I do with myself every single day. Not every single moment, but as much as I possibly can, make an effort to consciously remember to do this, I do it. So I think about when options and choices are presented to me on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, how much of a priority is this? 1 to 10. What you can do starting today or this week is you can take an inventory of your calendar and you can check in. Each of these things on your calendar, 1 to 10, where does it fall? Now, key is to ask yourself before you find your number and take your time temperature from a scale of 1 to 10. You got to remind yourself, hold on, if I wasn't afraid, if I was just being really honest, letting my soul and my spirit answer this question, not my mind, not my obligations, and most importantly, not my fear, what would I answer? 1 to 10. The 9.5s, the 9.9s, they got to go. Not overnight. I'm not asking you to rip the carpet out from underneath yourself. And I'm certainly not inviting you to give yourself permission to drop people or agreements you've already made. But what I'm asking you to consider is get honest with yourself today. How are you spending your time already? When a new option presents itself, or a new choice or a new possibility, where does it fall on the 1 to 10 scale in terms of just vibrationally? How aligned are you with this way of living into how you're spending your time? We don't get time back. We don't know how much of it we have. And it can be painful and it can be difficult to get honest about, yeah, this is an 8, this is a 2, this is a 9, not quite a 10. I should be happy with it, but I'm not all the way there. And something that was a 10 for you may become a 9 or even a 5. When you get honest about how you're spending your time and you make a commitment to get to the point where all of the time you've got in a day, in a week, in a month is 10 out of 10, you're going to feel free. And if you don't, let me know because I will be shocked. It's evolving. It's a work in progress. It might never get 100% 10 out of 10s in how you're spending your time. And sometimes something's a 10, but it still doesn't feel good. It just, in your mind, body, and spirit is getting you closer to one of your big dreams or wants that ultimately is the 10. So this can be really slippery and really tricky, but I'm wanting to at least plant a seed with you today that you have more control over your time than you may think, that you could actually be structuring your time in a way where you're powerfully choosing it and where the majority of the time that you spend is vibrationally a 10 out of 10. Another way to think about it is, do you know why you're saying yes to this thing? Because if the thing that you know you want is going to mean you choose X. For example, simple analogy and metaphor would be if you have a physical transformation goal, if you're wanting to transform your body this year, it might not be a 10 out of 10 to track your food or to cut out sugar or maybe even coffee or limit alcohol intake or whatever it is. But the 10 out of 10 is you can see that body back to where you want it or in a place that it's never been before. And especially right now, we absolutely can be diving into taking our health on when, again, there's so much up in the air in the world, in our country, and even within ourselves. So pick a goal when you're feeling out of control of your time as well to help align you in how you're spending your time. 10 out of 10s only. Do you know why you're doing what you're doing? And get willing to commit to your time and your schedule powerfully being set up to support the life you're designing for you. And then watch freedom start to feel more and more like your baseline default experience. Tune in tomorrow for our very first hot seat for the month of March 2021, where we're taking on with financial expert and integrative holistic coach Ann Mank, part 2 of our Heal Your Money series in the Healing is Possible hot seat. Tune in at 10 a.m. Mountain, noon Eastern for that hot seat. If you want to work with me privately or join me in the hot seat, please absolutely visit RebeccaSilence.com, apply to talk to me. We can even set up a free discovery call. I'm offering free discovery calls in the month of March for 30 minutes to those who are really interested in taking on a commitment that healing is possible for their lives. See you tomorrow. Tune in again every Monday for a Monday Healing